Hello everyone, good morning and namaste to all students, parents, and all other stakeholders. I hope you all are well and safe and staying at home. Myself, Shyam Dahal, Director of Operations of KIEC Nepal, formerly known as Kathmandu Infosys Educational Consultancy. Once again, I'd like to welcome you to our Facebook page and YouTube live counseling session. This is again an approximately 1 hour program. Today, in this live session, we will again be talking about study in Australia and one particular college, which is Newcastle International College. And this college is based in Newcastle City of New South Wales, state of Australia. The college is also affiliated with the Newcastle University of Australia. Newcastle International College is a pathway provider to Newcastle University and mainly offering foundation, diploma leading to bachelor's degree and pre-master's program. Today, to talk about the college and the university, we have a very special guest from Newcastle International College. With the representative from the college, we will be discussing about the college and the university, faculties and programs they offer, scholarship, intakes, entry requirements, and many more. Also, we would expect your valuable questions in the comment section below, and we will answer those questions accordingly. So please mention your questions below in order to make this session more interactive. Without doing any delay, let me introduce my guest, Mr. Jonathan Hunter, Director of Marketing and Admissions of Newcastle International College. Welcome, Jonathan, to our Facebook and YouTube live session.
Thank you very much. Thanks to KIEC for having me today. Good to be here.
Thank you so much. First, I'd like to ask about the COVID situation over there in Australia and further steps taken by the Australian government to overcome the COVID-19 situation at the moment.
Yeah, so not an ideal situation, obviously, in all countries of the world, but on a positive note, Australia has handled it very well. In the region that I'm talking to you from, which is the Hunter region or Hunter Valley, just a coincidence that my name is the same. Newcastle is the main city in there. We've had only about 200 cases, and at the moment there are no live cases where we are. So Sydney's a much bigger city, much more people in a confined space in comparison to Newcastle, but we're still taking obvious precautions. So we've had what we're calling the digital campus in place. In other words, distance online classes. Now, some students are already here, and for the next intake, the next start of trimester, which is in 2 weeks' time, some classes will be held so that the classes will be held through Zoom, but also the teachers will actually be in the classrooms for the students that are here. And then the third trimester, which starts in October, we should be back to face-to-face by then. It's hard to say, of course, what will happen with specific borders from Nepal to Australia and other countries as well. But I'll tell you a bit later about the scholarships that we're offering because of the situation at the moment. The most generous scholarships that we've ever offered, actually. So if students are able to start online, I would encourage them to do so, because then they're graduating when they had initially hoped. And of course, the very majority, the large bulk of their study will end up being here in Newcastle. We just have to be a little bit more patient in the coming days. But I'm happy to report, in terms of safety and health, Newcastle's one of the safest cities, if not the safest main city in the country.
Okay, thank you so much. At the same time, I would like to also welcome our senior counselor, Ms. Manjula Shrestha, who is the senior counselor of KIEC Kathmandu, Nepal. Welcome, Manjula, in our session.
Thank you so much, Sam Prashadar. Welcome, Johnny.
Thank you very much.
So let's begin our session.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jonathan, for the COVID-19 situation update from Australia. Now, I would like to request you to start the session for today.
Okay, great. So hopefully you can see my presentation in front of you. So as you've already been told, my name is Johnny Hunter. I'm the Director of Marketing and Admissions at Newcastle International College, which is the on-campus international college for the University of Newcastle. So start off with some very positive and recent news. This update. So 2 days ago, the new rankings were released. The main ranking, which is the QS world rankings that the universities are measured by. And I'm happy to report the university is now in the top 200 in the world. Now, there are over 26,000 universities in the planet. So 197 makes us in the top 0.75% of universities in the world. So we're 197 in the world. We're also a group of 8 affiliate member when it comes to engineering. So we're just outside what's called the famous group of 8 best universities in the country. So a very important update and something that we're very excited about. We were still very high before, 207, but we've gone up 10 places. Now, this is a new video that we have only just finished a couple of days ago, and I hope this will be able to be streamed quite smoothly on whichever platform you are watching on. Apologies if it doesn't. It's 3 minutes long, but it just gives you basically a tour of the college.
Hi, my name is Tina, and I'm at the Callahan campus of the University of Newcastle, Australia. I'm going to show you the facilities at Newcastle International College. Let's grab a coffee and check it out. Welcome to the General Purpose Building, home to pathways and learning support. It's also a great place to hang out. Bessie, hi.
Hi, PJ. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm just doing a tour of NIC. Could you help me out?
Of course. This whole building has just been freshly renovated. On the ground floor, there are study areas, great for group projects or study on your own. Also, there are quiet rooms and kitchen facilities for students as well. Let's take a look upstairs. Up here in level 2, we have more study zones like this. Also, some tutorial rooms. And here, we have a large lecture theater.
Let's check out level 3.
Let's go. And here we are on top floor of the building.
Welcome to Newcastle International College. Let's meet the college director and principal.
Hi, my name is Associate Professor Sven Schottmann, and I'm the College Director here at Newcastle International College. By choosing to study at NIC, you've chosen to study at one of Australia's best universities in one of its most livable cities. For now, learning happens in our digital campus, but even though learning continues online, our campus is open, and we look forward to welcoming you to many of our student engagement activities, which we have scheduled for the trimester. I also look forward to welcoming you in person in Newcastle soon after that.
Now let's take a look at the accommodation options.
Hi, I'm Melissa, Student Accommodation Manager at Reece Realty Newcastle, located right near Newcastle University. I'm standing outside our new purpose-built student accommodation located right outside the gates of Newcastle University with rooms starting from $180 per week. We also have many other properties available with rooms starting from just $100 per week. We at Reece Realty will help you find the perfect accommodation while you're studying at NIC in Newcastle University.
Of course, there are loads of on-campus accommodation options too, starting at $195 per week. It's extremely popular, so if you want to experience living on one of the biggest university campuses in Australia, make sure you get your application in early. We hope you enjoyed the tour.
Make you come back. See you in Newcastle.
The campus is open. So even though the classes are generally speaking still online, students are starting to come back, quite busy actually with students on campus and meeting teachers and staff and other students. So yes, we are open. That campus in front of you is what's called New Space, so Newcastle University Space. And it's the business school. So business, commerce, law also there, and creative industries. That's 2 years old, cost 95 million Australian dollars to build, and is one of 2 campuses in Newcastle. So I'm talking to you from the main campus called Callaghan, and then about 15 minutes away is that campus in the city centre. So it's a 10-minute, 15-minute bus ride away, but it's a free bus. So students just have to show their student card, hop on and hop off. And you can see there's also a tram. That's a tram there. That goes down to Newcastle Beach and then also up to the main train station, which goes to Sydney, which, by the way, is 2.5 hours away on the train. So this gives you an overview of the city on the right. We are a smaller city, but we're the second largest city in New South Wales after Sydney. So Sydney is almost 5 million, a big, big place. We're 540,000 roughly, but that makes us similar or larger in size to some other cities that you might have heard of. Edinburgh, capital of Scotland, where I'm originally from. It's bigger than there. Even Sacramento in California, for example, bigger than there. So we're the biggest regional economy in Australia. More important to the economy than ACT, than Tasmania or Northern Territory, if you've heard of those. So still a large place with only 1 university, so less competition amongst international students for part-time work, which I'll talk about later. That arrow on the right shows you the building that I just talked about, the business school. But on the left, you'll see another arrow, and they're building 7 more brand new buildings, including student accommodation, faculty of education, creative industries have a new building going in there. Construction has not stopped here because of COVID, still going, and the first one's going to be open early 2021. So since that photo was taken, it's not grassy anymore, it's a construction zone. And as you can see, how many blocks away from the harbour? 1 block from the harbour. Not many universities can say that, especially not in Australia. And very close to the ocean as well, which is pretty popular here. But everything that you would expect Sydney or Melbourne or Brisbane to have. We've got massive shopping complexes, cinemas, international restaurant, and we're also less than an hour away from the Hunter Valley. So over there's the oldest wineries in the country, but there's also a lot of outdoor concerts happen every summer there. So it's a really cool couple of places to be. This shows you on the map, gives you a pretty good idea, right? So there's 2 campuses in Newcastle. There's another one called the Central Coast, And then there's a small campus in Sydney, which just has master's degrees, postgraduate degrees. So let's talk about visas after you finish, after you graduate, post-study work rights, we call it. So once you finish your degree in Newcastle, at either campus, you can apply and stay for 3 years and work full-time. If you graduate from the Central Coast campus, you actually can stay for 4 years and work full-time. So at Central Coast, there's some business places, there's some nursing places, and the rest of them are health science degrees like podiatry, food science, human nutrition, those kind of things. And then 2 years in Sydney. It's the most overpopulated, so you only get the 2 years if you are finishing your degree in Sydney. So 3 different options and 3 pretty good deals when it comes to staying around if you want to do that. Climate, you'll see on the left there, Newcastle's ranked best climate of any city in Australia. Doesn't usually get too hot, it doesn't usually get too cold. When it rains, it's over with pretty quick. When the airports are back up and running, which they will be, you will be bringing back free airport pickup. Someone will meet the students at the terminal with a name on the board, free from either Sydney Airport, or there's also an airport in Newcastle. It's just got the one international link at the moment. So what I do when I travel is fly into Brisbane and get a 1 hour flight to Newcastle, or fly into Melbourne and get a 1 hour flight to Newcastle. That way you get picked up in a private car, it's 20 minutes to uni. If you get picked up in Sydney, that's fine, but it's going to take you longer, probably up to 3 hours because of the Sydney airport traffic. So we're 180 kilometers away from Sydney, so not that far. And it's very cheap. So the train is actually state-owned and subsidized. So $2.50 Australian every Sunday to get there and back. So you can get the best of both worlds. Stay in Newcastle, it's 60% cheaper for rent. You get extra post-study work rights, and we're a very highly ranked university, but easy to get down to Sydney. Students usually go once or twice a month. I don't know, go see friends, go see a restaurant, go see family if you've got them, or you know, the Opera House. You can really experience while you're studying 2 cities, Newcastle and Sydney. Just don't try and live in Sydney and come to classes at 8:30 in the morning once we're back to face-to-face. This talks about climate, ranked best of any city. A nice view of the city there too. And then this is what I'm talking about. In comparison to Sydney, 60% cheaper, Melbourne 22% cheaper, even Brisbane 6% cheaper, and you can see other cities there massively more expensive than we are. So let's look at why that is the case. We recommend this company, Reese Realty. We don't get anything out of recommending them, but they have a student accommodation manager, a student accommodation officer, and they have rooms from 100 Australian dollars per week. You will struggle to find that any other city here. Includes electricity, includes internet, and it's your own room. These are not bunk beds or 2 separate beds. This is your own private room. Starts from $100 a week. Have a look at reecerealty.com.au if you want to, and you can see what's available. Average is probably $150. On campus, it's only 5 years old, most of these, 778 beds available. Some of them have swimming pools in the complex. Some of them are including food packaging, different options for different people. It always fills up normally though, so please do get your applications in quite early if you want to. It's called student living. So if you have a look at the university's website and search in the search bar student living, you'll see what is available, but there's 9 options. Starts from $195 a week, so still quite affordable. Some other subject rankings. I'll tell you one that's not on here, automation and control engineering, 8th in the world. That's 8. So that's higher than Harvard, Stanford, and Cambridge, part of engineering. Nursing is 38 in the world, so very, very high. The other ones, architecture and education, top 100. Medicine, 101 to 150, as is civil engineering. So we're very highly ranked, obviously. That's a picture of the main campus where I am at the moment. Very green. You can see it's very park-like. Students usually use words like tranquil, peaceful, very built up around it, but that's where most of the off-campus accommodation is for $100 to $150. So still walking distance. There's 2 million trees in there. It doesn't quite look like it, but there are 2 million trees on campus. Another view of the city campus. This is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by the way. And there's a cafe in there. There's a big library, meeting zones. So even if you're not studying business or commerce or law, anyone can access that building. That's the Central Coast campus that I mentioned with the 4 years of post-study work rights. So if you want to do nursing or if you want to do business, graduate there, you can stay for 4 years. And then this is a artist's impression of the new Honeysuckle campus that's being constructed at the moment, I mentioned earlier. And that's the first building that's going in early next year. That will be creative industries. So if anyone is doing our diploma of media communication, when you go on to the bachelor, you'll be amongst the first ever students to utilize that new facility right in the city. And then back at the main campus, they're still doing more construction. So a new STEM building, extra M for medicine, $200 million investment, biggest in the university's history. So we're 3 years away from that being finished, but that's going to be our new flagship building at this campus. World class. Okay, so our programs. The foundation program, this leads to almost every single degree at the university, over 100 undergraduate degree options from this. So there's 2 ways you can progress. Either you get an average mark requirement from the 8 subjects, and then you go into first year, year 1. Or we also have 5 diplomas, so you can do foundation, pass mark is 50%, and then go into the diploma, which is the same as first year. So our diplomas are all the same curriculum as the university's first year. And when you finish the diploma, you go into second year. So that's the other option. So 2 different options, 8 months or 12 months. Pretty much your decision, depending on what's available. It's the same cost, it's the same entry requirements. And then this is a Newcastle International College exclusive program. So if anyone out there at the moment is interested in being a doctor, very difficult to get direct entry in Australia for medicine for international students from anywhere. So we have this, the foundation program for medicine. Here's how it works. It's an 8-month program. You'll study 8 subjects. And you need to get an average mark of 90% or higher. Now, most students actually do get that. It sounds high, but this is the equivalent difficulty of year 12, right? Some students get 98%. If you're on track for getting that, you'll be invited for a PQA, Personal Qualities Assessment. That's a fancy term for an interview, face-to-face interview with the School of Medicine. Then there's also multiple skills assessment, which is basically a multiple choice personality test. Based on those things, the university, the School of Medicine, select the students to go into our Bachelor of Medical Science and Doctor of Medicine, 5-year degree. Last 2 years, more than 75% of students have got in. So a very high success rate. If you didn't get through, you can select your second preference at Newcastle. So that's usually biomedical science, but you can go with nursing, you can go with pharmacy, whatever has a place left. Medical engineering as well is another option. Or if you've passed it, but you've failed the interview for some reason, and you managed to get an offer somewhere else in Australia or internationally, you'll be allowed to take up that offer and leave. But the thing to focus on is 75% of students last 2 years running successful. So this is a packaged offer. You'll get a 6-year visa to attend this. Diploma of Business and Commerce. So this leads to second year of either Bachelor of Business or Bachelor of Commerce. Lots of different majors, but you don't have to pick them till second year. So as I mentioned, you'll do this here at the college, at the Callahan campus, the big campus, and then you'll transfer to the new campus for year 2 and year 3. Business schools in the top 150 in the world, by the way. Diploma of Media and Communication. This leads to second year of the Bachelor of Communication. Again, you can do it 8 or 12 months, and you can also get credit points towards 20 other options. Bachelor of Arts, which has loads of majors and minors. Creative Industries, which is like graphic design plus entrepreneurship. Visual Communication Design, which is graphic design, and also Bachelor of Music. There's also medical engineering. So this will be opening up again in February next year. This is very good for future-proofing your career. Things like robotics, artificial limb design, 3D printing of organs and bones, and the majors are biomechanics, medical devices, and medical signal analysis. And as I said earlier, we're a group of 8 for engineering. IT is also very popular, so interactive media, business technology or systems development, all at the main campus, 8 or 12 months. And you go into second year. If you're doing this in 8 months, that means you can actually finish your degree in 2 years, 8 months, quicker than an Australian student can do. And then separately from medical, we have the Diploma of Engineering. So the majors you can do are civil, mechanical, mechatronics, surveying, computer systems, electrical, and brand new, we've just added renewable energy. So another future-proofing your career if you selected renewable energy engineering. That's very popular. There's other ones like structural, environmental, and chemical. You can still do those. You do foundation to year 1 because the classes are so different, but you can still get in via the foundation program. Brand new, starting in August at both Newcastle and Sydney, so you can select which one you want to go to, the pre-masters program. So if you are listening and you have a 3-year degree in whatever, no work experience, and you can get an IELTS of 6.0, nothing under 5.5, or an equivalent through Duolingo, or there's a few other options. You can do this pre-masters program. It's only 3.5 months, $13,000 tuition fee, but we are doing a 20% scholarship at the moment, so that actually takes it down to 10,400. And then you can go into any of these business degrees. There's also business psychology. That's actually a science faculty degree, and Master of Public Health. This is brand new, so there's still more to add. So hopefully we'll have some IT, engineering, education, masters in the future. But August is the first one, and then January next year will be the next. 20% scholarship. And then also in the works, Diploma of Public and Community Health. So COVID has shown new interest in this type of degree, and you'll be finishing it at the Central Coast campus. So the 4 years will come with this post-study work rights. So this will be hopefully next year. So here are the scholarships. We mentioned the pre-master's program. For the rest of them, pretty big ones, 4,500 for engineering or IT diploma students, almost 3,900 for media and communication students, almost 3,800 for business students. If you're studying medicine, we do have a June intake over $4,000 is the scholarship for medicine, and 3.5 for students that are coming into the foundation program. So this will be credited to your account after you accept, and it will act as a fee reduction on your second installment due, I think, October, November time. So that'll be much cheaper, basically. So these are the biggest scholarships we've actually ever had. There are some progression scholarships as well for the Faculty of Engineering and the Built Environment, which includes IT. So if you get, I think it's 90% from your diploma, you will receive $20,000 off your bachelor. So that's for IT, engineering, and architecture. So the same from foundation to architecture, obviously. Otherwise, diploma of IT and engineering. If you do really well, $20,000. So I mentioned pre-masters, but it's 6.0 IELTS, nothing under 5.5 for all programs, unless you're doing foundation to something like business, or foundation to engineering, foundation to architecture, arts. Then it's a 5.5, nothing under 5. But if you're doing health science, like nursing, it would be a 6, nothing under 5.5. We do have a slight caveat to that, which is a a diploma provisional entry program, PEP. That gives you an extra couple of classes on communication skills, and you will be able to start a diploma with a 5.5. But generally, it's a 6. We do take 16 and 17-year-old students. They'll be placed with the university's homestay team. So there's lots of homestay families around Newcastle. They'll be placed there. Those are the costs. If you add in the internet, which of course you'll need, $300 a week, or $285 for 2 meals a week. There's also a private company called the Australian Homestay Network. They operate in Newcastle too, but you'll have to arrange that through them yourself. But otherwise, if you're 16 or 17, we will arrange the homestay family for you, and then your parents will have to sign a couple of different documents, and you'll be set. No difference between a NIC student and a University of Newcastle student. You have access to all the same things, all the same discounts. In fact, you get both our student services and the university student services. There's also a doctor, a GP on campus, psychology, free legal advice, religious services, on-campus security, the list goes on. One final video, this will give you an idea of what the city outside campus looks like. Let's have a look. Hopefully it doesn't crash your computers. of the Square Media, who are a Newcastle-based media company, and just gives you an idea of what the city looks like. That's our team at the moment. So we like to consider ourselves as international as our students. So we've got College Director Sven, born in Hong Kong but German. Academic Director Danny from Singapore. I'm originally from Scotland. Karina, one of our marketing managers, Italian background but from Perth. Marine is French, Kai, Chinese. Tanya is actually from Newcastle. We've got Sun from Malaysia, Fon from Thailand, and Nicole from Newcastle as well. This is very important, and I mentioned less competition for part-time work. So not only that, but we help you get it. So when you arrive here, or the next orientation, so we'll do an online version of this in July, and then another one will happen in March next year, hopefully face-to-face. Jobs fair. So we call it the Hire Me project, and you can see the first thing is interview preparation and resume tips. We get Navitas from Sydney to come up and help you with your resume, talk about the sort of things that will happen in an interview. And then the next week, we have 20 different employers come, including supermarkets, recruitment consultancy firms, takeaway firms, but also IT, engineering firms. And you have a 10-minute mini interview back to back with all these different employers. Sometimes students get hired there and then. Other times you'll get a second interview, or if nothing else, you're going to get network contacts, or it'll just help your confidence. We're also going to be doing some very exciting announcements quite soon about guaranteed work with fruit picking companies in the Hunter Valley, like wine grape picking, $24 an hour. So we're making sure our students, if they want part-time work, we'll help them get part-time work. Nobody else, as far as we know, are doing this, and this has actually been nominated for an award, this initiative. So we take it very seriously, and if you're coming to Newcastle, you're much more likely actually to be employed. Those are our social media channels. If you've got them, please have a look for any updates on the college or scholarships, etc. So that was all of the updates from my end, but hopefully you might have a question or two, and I will stop sharing now. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much, Jonathan, for the presentation. It was very useful. Now, we can we enter in the second round, that is the Q&A session. We have some questions in the comment box, so I will ask some questions. Can we start?
Please.
Okay. The one question that we have received is Anil, when they are likely to open the border. So it is something different questions, but do you suggest anything about that? When they are likely to open the borders?
I don't have a definitive answer yet, but we do have someone that is based in Canberra that works for our parent company who asks the government on our behalf these questions, the minister, for example. So they are starting to look at opening some borders, and what they've indicated is the students will be able to fly here and they will have to stay 14 days in a hotel before they come to college or the university. That is probably going to be partly shared, the costs of that, by the university potentially, but we're still finalizing how that's going to look. But I wouldn't, unfortunately, think that many of them will be open before September, October, November, December, and some of them might be into 2021, unfortunately. But please don't necessarily let that hold you back, because if you start now, you do save a lot of money on the scholarship, and you also save money on the rent before you get here, even though we're more affordable than most places. And of course, you'll be graduating in 3, 4, 5 years' time, when more likely than not, there won't be any pandemics. So yeah, I still don't know. I don't think even the government necessarily knows. We just have to keep an eye on it, but hopefully there'll be a definitive answer in the next few weeks and months.
Thanks. The next question is from Manjil Parajuli. He's asking about his brother. My brother is going to finish his second semester from South Africa College, currently studying BIT course. I hope South Africa offered their students to transfer their course to AIBT in Sydney after they finish their second semester. Can we transfer his college to NIC Australia? He needs to ask that his brother is studying in one college in Perth, maybe first year bachelor's degree. So, do we expect diploma leading to bachelor's degree with possible advanced standing credit?
Yeah, it's possible. If he's studying a Bachelor of IT, it's, to be honest, possible that he might be able to skip the diploma and go into second year at the university. But the best thing to do, Manjil, is either send, or your brother send, his results so far to the admissions email address, which is, I don't know if I can type here, admissions@nic.nw.edu.au, and we can have a look at it. Or simply, he can apply. It's free to apply on the website, or talk to KIEC and they can do it for you. Probably quicker that way. And if we think they're qualified for direct, what we do is we'll send it over to the university, and then they'll be able to do the offer that way. But yes, it's absolutely possible. It just means that AIBT will need to provide a release, depending how long he's been studying. But the best thing to do is either inquire with the transcript or submit an application.
Yeah. Also, we'd like to suggest, Manjil, if your brother has completed first year bachelor's degree from South Africa College, Nepal, it is good to apply for directly bachelor's degree in university. Or if a student has not completed diploma yet or first year yet, then you can apply for diploma leading to bachelor's degree also. So you may be eligible to get some credit as well. So you can visit our office after the lockdown, or you can contact us through all the way of communication, so that we will advise you further. I hope we covered Manjil questions. The next question is Ankit Rizal is asking about, hi sir, I am under 18 student and I have completed my +2. +2 means year 12 in Nepal. I want to study diploma leading to bachelor's in accounting course. Do you accept under 18 students? I think we already addressed the same. So do you suggest anything to him?
Yeah, so we definitely do accept under 18 students, 16 or 17-year-olds. So you would be best to apply for the Diploma of Business and Commerce leading to second year of the Bachelor of Commerce, which would be majoring in accounting. So yes, you sound like an ideal applicant. So talk to these guys.
Okay. Next question, Prajita Pudasaini is asking about, hello sir, I did my 3 years bachelor's in business from Nepal. Which course do you recommend me at your college?
You should be looking at the pre-master's program if you're looking to go into any of those master's programs that I mentioned. So most of them are business, There's also business psychology, which is a combination of science and business. Public health is another one, and we're adding more. But if you've already got a 3-year bachelor from Nepal, that means that you're eligible for our pre-masters program at either Newcastle or Sydney. So options of 2 cities.
Okay, thank you so much. Our next question is from Manisha Mugar. Hello, sir. Could you please mention the scholarship for the diploma course? She is asking about the scholarship for diploma program that we offer.
Yeah, so at the moment, 15% is the scholarship for each diploma. Now, it depends, Manisha, on the exact diploma that you were thinking of doing. Engineering and IT, 15% of that ends up being almost $4,000. If it's business or communication, it's almost, I think it's about 3,800, I said. So yeah, 15% are the scholarships if you're starting at the next intake. It looks like we're still waiting on exact confirmation, but that should also be in place for the next intake in October as well. So yes, 15%.
Thank you so much. Next question is how is the accommodation and part-time job opportunities in Newcastle City? Sushil Gurung asking about the accommodation and part-time job opportunities in Newcastle City.
Yeah, so I would say some of, if not the best in the country. So that's why we have that jobs fair on, which you should attend if you're coming here. We'll help you get that part-time job, and the accommodation, there's loads of accommodation available either through the university or through a real estate agent that I recommended. That's just one of many, and starts from $100 a week. Some students even have told me they have $90 a week here in Newcastle. You'd never ever get that in the capital cities. And when you think about it, if you're going to be here for 4 years, that all adds up by my calculations to a roughly $40,000 difference if you were going to Sydney or Melbourne. So yeah, accommodation is available, it's affordable, and jobs are available and achievable.
Okay. Next question. Dibyam Thapa is asking about, okay, I have completed my year 12 in 2018 and also worked for 1 year, but now I am not working due to COVID-19. Do you accept me for the diploma leading to bachelor's degree course?
Yeah, possibly. 2 years is probably the usual sort of maximum gap, but that's okay. 2018 was 2 years ago. You do have a 1 year of working, so that also helps. So if you're looking to start the diploma, I don't think you necessarily would be rejected. It sounds like you would be okay, but I would obviously have to see the transcripts, and the admissions team would have to assess your application, but I certainly would encourage you to at least give it a shot. Yeah, you're okay by what you're telling me so far. I'm not put off.
Okay. Next question. Is there any nursing course in this college? Do we have any nursing program?
Yes. So you would study the foundation program on health science stream. You can do that in 8 months or 12 months. You need to get an average mark of 70, and then you will go into the Bachelor of Nursing, which is ranked 38th best nursing degree in the world. You can do that at the Newcastle campus or the Central Coast campus. If you choose Newcastle, you'll be eligible to stay for 3 years and work. If you choose the Central Coast campus, you'll be able to stay for 4 years and work. So yes, there definitely is that course, and you can also have your option of 2 different places to do it in. So definitely one of the best nursing degrees in the world.
Okay, thank you so much. One more question is that Om Prakash is asking about, I completed my BSc IT, which is 3 years affiliated by Sikkim Manipal University, India, distance education in Sky International College, Butwal with first division in the year of 2016 with 4 years job experience in related field and IT. Can I apply for masters in IT course?
So IT at the moment is not ready to be packaged with pre-masters. What I, to be honest, would say is have a look at the graduate certificate of information technology at the university. With 4 years of experience, you would probably be okay for the graduate certificate, and then you would go on to the Master of IT that way. So yeah, talk to these guys and they can advise you on how to apply for that. But yeah, once we do have that added, I will definitely let KIEC know, and that can happen potentially next year. But at the moment, we don't have that master's program connected to the pre-masters.
Okay. Next question, Nissan Amate is asking, can international students are eligible to study diploma of radiation therapy?
So because there's over 100 different degrees, we can't have a diploma for absolutely everything. But yes, there is a Bachelor of Radiation Therapy, there's diagnostic radiation, there's nuclear medicine, there's a few different options. What you would do, Nishan, is the foundation program to the bachelor. So we don't have a diploma of radiation therapy. In fact, I don't think anyone would have that here in Australia, specifically that specific. But yes, you can apply for the foundation program, finish it in 8 months or 12 months, and then go in to first year of the Bachelor of Radiation Therapy.
So Birendra is asking, can I get credit for master's degree upon successful completion of pre-masters?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that, because I think I forgot to tell you that 10 credit points. You do get 10 credit points. That reduces your fees by $3,500 or something. So absolutely, there's a subject. There's 4 subjects in the pre-masters, and one of them is called Managing Under Uncertainty. That's a university unit, and because of that, yes, you do. You get 10 credit points. Thank you for asking that question.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question, Anish Koirala is asking, how many backlogs is expected from bachelor's degree? Also, due to the lockdown, I have not been to issue the bachelor's certificate. So, will this have any effect in my application process? She's talking about the backlogs, and she's not being able to issue the certificate as well due to the current situation. So she's asking about the backlogs and the gap.
Backlogs are not an issue as long as you eventually passed. In terms of the certificate, as long as you've got your transcript, that will be fine. You don't necessarily need your final certificate that the Vice Chancellor has given you on the stage. But if you've got a transcript, we will still need to see something to show that you have successfully finished that program.
Okay. Next question is it guaranteed that the student can get a second year entry after completing a diploma? And that
yes.
is from Urmilagiri. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% guaranteed as long as you pass. In fact, you'll you'll get what's called a confirmation of enrollment for the bachelor that starts in second year. So your visa will cover second year, third year, or fourth year if you're engineering. So yes, 100%.
Okay, I think we have covered all of the comments that we have received at the moment. Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Jonathan, for your valuable information about the Newcastle International College. We are now nearly to the end of our session. Jonathan, do you have any final word from your side to our students who are planning to study in Australia?
Just that I look forward to inviting them here once they've got their offer and the COVID situation is reduced back to zero. It's a very welcoming city. It's a sort of place which is very different. I've lived in Melbourne and Sydney, but Newcastle's, because it's a bit smaller, people will greet you on the street. We're very, very warm and welcoming, and will help you do well at university. So yeah, we're looking forward to welcome you to our great city.
Okay. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Jonathan, for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
I would like to thank Mrs. I would also like to thank Nanjila Shrestha for your support, and also I would like to thank our IT team for the technical support for this live session. Thank you so much to all of you for listening and watching us through Facebook and YouTube channel. If you have any further questions, you can always contact us by phone, email, Facebook, etc. Stay safe, good day, and bye-bye. Thank you so much, and bye-bye, Jonathan, as well.
Thank you so much. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.